Aloha, Aaron from Hawaii Music School here, and today I just wanted to talk about one of the guys that really heavily influenced my playing growing up. The reason I started playing the ukulele was because I was teaching my brother how to play, and he wanted to learn all these Ka'au Crater Boys songs. When I heard Troy Fernandez is playing, I was like, wow, this guy's off the chain. It almost pulled me away from the guitar more than I was playing the ukulele, and to this day, I'm really into the way that Troy played and the way he accented certain notes. In fact, last night I was listening to a song from Palolo, which Troy Fernandez was the ukulele player in, and this song, Hey Hawaii, I remember when I first heard it, there was a part in it, the picking part, that just like blew my mind. I was like, what is this guy doing? And I tried for years to do this thing, and so I thought the lick was that, because Troy picked a lot like this, so I thought he was going and bending up, just. And so what I did was I developed a way that I would bend, and I would pick down, up, and come back up. So it was like a guitar technique where you go down, down, up, right? So and into the next note. So I listened to the song last night, and what it was I kind of heard what he was doing, and it was genius. He's bending here. He's going. And he catches the bottom string twice, yeah? So it's like, and then the top string, and then bends again. So it's like a, and so that just blew my mind. Like, one of the things about that bend is, his control over it. And, I mean, well, for one thing, Troy Fernandez is a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's got like big, powerful hands, and he's like bending that string. And the closer you get, you're gonna find the closer you get to the nut, the harder it is to bend the string. The easiest place to bend is right at the 12th fret, because that's where the string is at its loosest point. So what I do is I pivot my hand. I put my thumb over here, and I use my hand here like a fulcrum. And so what that is I got to make sure I keep my thumb out of the way when I do it. So I bend first, right? So I have to kind of turn that like that. And then I hit the bottom two, catch the top string, and bend again. And so I thought that was a really cool lick. One of the other things I really liked that he did was the tremolo picking and the rundown. That kind of stuff. And for years I thought he was doing that thing right there where you pick, pull, pick. I thought he was doing that, but he's actually doing the triplet. And the way he did it was he'd go down and up, so it was very economical, which is one of the big things I'm big on is the economy of motion. And so what he would do is he'd economize his picking. And he was very smart with that. In fact, in the surf solo, it was kind of like, so that rundown, it's like, and he would do it so quickly and so efficiently. Later I learned that he does do this thing where he does that, but he does it in different places. Like, P-Man, he does, what that is like a hammer on, then a pick, And so he does it there. In Palolo, he also does that, so it's like a pick, pull, pick. So, and does it here again. So, he did a lot of that stuff. The other thing I really liked that he did was he played in a very Kihoalu-like style a lot of times, where it was like, So that kind of thing, I took a a lot from Troy's style. I was looking back and I was like thinking, wow, I played a lot of these songs the wrong way. But playing them the wrong way actually it kind of shifted and shaped the way I play the ukulele today. So a lot of what I got came from playing Troy Fernandez's stuff the wrong way. You learn through messing up. That's how you get good. I'm not saying to practice mistakes, because you don't want to do that either. But by doing a lot of things the wrong way, it might be the right way in another sense. So like I learned a lot of the way I play from basically trying to transcribe as a teenager when I didn't really have the patience to listen for every note. Now I have to, because I transcribe stuff for people. So back then I didn't. And so I would end up playing these things like thousands of times, and I'd play it the wrong way. But then when I would play a solo on my own, I would kind of throw these things in that I thought were right, and it shifted and shaped the way that I play. So, Troy Fernandez was a big influence on me, but I don't think that I really play all that much like Troy because, like I said, I played a lot of his stuff wrong. We didn't have YouTube back then, so you couldn't go on and now YouTube's got that thing on the bottom where you slow down and you can check it out. We didn't have none of that, so I used to have to. I listened to the tapes. I had cassette tapes of the Ka'au Crater Boys' early stuff, and my grandma had this karaoke machine upstairs, and so I would sit there and I would rewind it and listen to it and rewind it and listen to it and rewind it and listen to it. So we didn't have a means to slow things down, and you just had to kind of listen to it. And then we had that attitude of like we just wanted to play it, so it was like, okay, hurry up, good enough. Transcribing by ear became a big part of my playing, and I think that a lot of players today did the same thing. The kids nowadays definitely have better tools than we did. So I mean, there's like all kinds of stuff that helps you slow it down and all of that stuff. But I guess I was talking to Noah Campbell about this one day, and they have the tools to slow things down, but because we got so used to doing it our way that I showed him the feature on YouTube where we could slow it down, and both of us were just kind of like, oh, bro, the thing sounds so distorted. You cannot even really hear the note. So it's harder for us to hear it slow because you don't get the cadence of it the way that you would do when it's at speed. And so, but the kids nowadays, they've grown up knowing that, so they can just pick it out like nobody's business. But I guess that's a thing that we're gonna have to adapt to. But transcribing stuff is a really, really great way to learn how to play. And I would suggest starting with the Ka'au Crater Boys, because there's a lot of really, really good meat in there if you want to learn how to play in that Hawaiian style. Troy Fernandez Guava Jam is a great example of the way that Troy makes something sound Kihualu, because Guava Jam was actually a Peter Moon song, and Peter Moon played it in the Kihualu guitar. So try to transcribe things like that. There's a lot of things that you can learn from listening to these old albums. If you have any questions, you can write in the comment section down here, or you can email me at hmsukelessons@gmail.com. All right. Aloha.